Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that, Dax, that, with people that are working with us, and we've done a lot of sales as far as work with a lot of sellers in the last 2 years. As long as people understand how to price the property in this market, how should the property look, there are other very minor details, like I said, that make a major effect on the transaction. We are constantly getting into bidding wars with our listings, and a lot of these listings do not stay long. There are sellers who are not budging. Of course, we are working with a few as well who feel that I will hold on to my price because I'm not in such a hurry. And why not? Everybody has the right to ask for the price they want. Those
I just want to jump in here a second because, one of the things that you say is there's a strategy. And while I don't want to give away your strategy on the air, I want people to understand that there is a reason why you will suggest a certain price, not that you necessarily are going to get stuck at that price. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, see, overinflated prices work in certain markets, and in certain markets they do not work. Then the location makes a lot of difference. The presentation of the house makes a lot of difference. And based on that, we have enough experience working in this industry for over 25 years to really pinpoint and tell you this is where it will move, and not just move, you would probably more than likely end up getting more than what we are listing it for. There's a list price and then there's a sold price. And while average transactions, when people sell, list price is always more than the actual sold price. In our case, it's the opposite, because of understanding the market and having the experience. And one-stop shop concept is what makes a lot of difference, because we can understand the loan aspect of it. Simple thing, we list a property and it has really high taxes. We have to remember that the potential buyer is going to have a challenge with the payment, because our current sellers' taxes are high. Why are they high? Let's investigate into that and then work on that angle, so then when the buyer comes, they understand, will they inherit those taxes or not? Lots of details. I do not want to share it on the radio, but again, that's one angle that most realtors will not look at, because that's more on the lending side. Now that we are also in the subcontracting business as a contractors working with us, and we are doing a lot of those works as well for our clients, that has been my absolute favorite addition to our portfolio. When we walk into a house, we know exactly what needs to be done for it to move, and it moves. Thank God for people who understand and trust our process. And you all are more than welcome to call in and or reach out and say, yep, I listened to you and I benefited. And I'm looking forward after this show to more people understanding and reaching out to us so that they can see how they can benefit.
So if you have challenges in terms of your property and you're selling, but there's some remodeling work or some repairs that need to be done, Vanya, what are you saying to those people?
Reach out to us, because again, repairs is a very big word. Like, what should be repaired, how much of it should be done, how it should be done. Just there are and then there are these random estimates. I talk to people and they're told figures that blow my mind just to remodel a certain area. When we're looking at, are we looking to sell, are we looking to keep, are we looking to create income from the property?
You were telling me about a project you'd had a sale, and they were considering putting in new floors, but the new buyers actually bought the house just because of the floors.
That's a beautiful story, because we did a really nice house in Miami Beach, and one of those rare houses that come with a basement. In Miami, there are very few areas that still have that, and the house had its character. It was so beautiful, and we were contemplating between the sellers and our team that what kind of repairs should be done, if any, before it hits the market. And one of the concerns was the flooring, which was the kind of flooring that is not even available these days anymore. And to some people, it may look really old, and it needed to be fixed at certain places. And to some people, it may look like, I'll never get this again. And I, for some reason, when, again, I would say because of my experience, I just was very I let my clients shop and get ideas and estimates of how they should change the floor if they do choose to. But I couldn't help it, and they were at one point willing to hire us to do the work as well because we do provide that service. And still, I couldn't bring myself up to it, and I was encouraging them gently that leave the floor as is. I'm telling you, leave the floor as is. Two things will happen. Either the person who comes will absolutely fall in love with it, or they'll let us know floor is the reason I'm not buying it, and we would know, okay, then let's look into the floor or provide some credits. And long story short, the house was sold cash within 4 days of listing it. Why? Because it was priced really well, full cash offer. And one of the things that they said why they took the house is because they love the floor. So experience matters, guys, and sometimes having like a overview of the situation. When we are working in a situation, we are not emotionally involved, and we are just looking at it from above. And I pay a lot of attention to minor details. That is why I feel the clients. I would say I can tell you 100% of the clients that I work with and close transactions, I know will say that they have done really well.
It's true. It's true. You love that remodeling process. You love going in and taking on that challenge to really bring out the best features in a house, and it makes all the difference, and the clients appreciate it. And
it does, and there is fun in doing this. It doesn't
For
feel
you.
like, yes, for me it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like when we close a transaction, and if it's a person buying and I see that they came up with little to nothing out of pocket, and the payment is exactly how they wanted, and sometimes in that process we were able to help them allocate the money that they would have otherwise used to buy the house, and now they don't need, because of the credits we've gotten for them, to pay some of the credit cards off. Why? Again, looking at it as a lender, not just a realtor. If you eliminate $300 worth of credit card payment, that gives you more room to have payment towards your mortgage, which is a tax deductible payment. Makes complete sense to me. So we go beyond, okay, you want to buy a house, let's go put you in a contract. We really look at it and go, here's $5,000 that now you don't need and you did put away. Why don't we pay this card off? Or why don't we clear this bill off so that now you'll enjoy your house even more because you'll have less bills to pay. These little things matter. I'm giving a lot of trade secrets. And I don't mind, because I know that the amount of attention it is that these transactions required, people don't
It's
have
work.
It's work, and people don't have patience for it. Sadly, we're in a time where a lot of professionals have left the industry again.
It's just a different mindset. There's a mindset of people saying, if I'm going to work, I want to get paid. And I've watched myself work and just know that I'm working. I'm not thinking of how much time I'm spending with this client. I'm thinking this client is going to reach their goal, and at that point, it's going to be worthwhile for both of us. And likewise, I've watched you work clients. For years, you've been working with clients. Good morning, Mr. Barnes. There's a gentleman that how long ago Mr. Barnes listed his house with us?
Oh, it's been a little over a month.
No, he was been talking about wanting to sell.
Oh, yeah. We came in contact. We did a few transactions, and the time was set that it would be ending of 2025.
November 2025,
25, yeah.
He's going to retire. He's going to get his Social Security. He's built his house in Jamaica. I hope I'm not talking your business, Mr. Barnes. There are many Mr. Barnes out there. But, I want you to...
I mean, there are people. I have another example. I've been working with these clients for a while. They reached out to us and they said they were in a kind of mortgage that they were not liking. And to come out of that mortgage required a lot of... they had to put a lot of things together to come out of that mortgage. Again, one of those situations where a lot of equity, but trapped in the house and not being able to come out of a situation. So they decided that at the end of the day, they're just going to have to sell. and we listed the house, listed it well, the house looks well, and obviously calls started coming in. We were flooded with calls. And I got a call from them and they said, Vanya, if this current lender that I am with, if they can understand and give me some time, I don't want to sell. I want to keep this house. We actually reached out to the lender on their behalf, made a case, knowing very well that that would mean we have to cancel the sale, the listing, and we would have to wait for them to put all the things together again in the near future so they can come out of this loan that they are in. We did not think that, okay, well, that puts us out of the thing and who knows when they'll bring it together. And we got them almost a 2-year extension on this current loan.
Nice.
Never for 1 minute I was hesitating. I couldn't. I was, when they said, I've listed Vanya and I know people are coming to look and I know maybe in a day, tops 2, I will have multiple offers on the property. I know it. We knew it. We were this close to having the transaction done. And I listened when they said, I don't know what to do. Do you think this lender would give us time? They're not even talking to me. And we reached out, they reached out as well. We gave them a strategy how to talk to the lender. And the lender agreed. We are happily canceling the listing and we are now going to work with them so that they can come out of this loan. Who knows when? Maybe a month, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. But that is what being in the market for so long, the leverage that we get.
Well, it's just simple. There's a focus on serving people because information and experience is a powerful resource, as opposed to earning a living and trying to close every transaction you can close. That the focus on the transactions cause you to not really connect with people. Focusing on people cause you to be able to always have transactions, as those people share when people who have transactions need the support of the people who care about people. What do you think about that, Riddle?
Yeah, that is important. And also, does the professional who you are working with, does that professional have enough room to be able to have this kind of flexibility?
Yeah. That if right now, I heard last night we were driving, a loan officer calls Vanya to say, look, I've been working on this deal. The lady got turned down by the association, so she cannot buy that property. That deal, she was being charged of fees, everything were just way out of whack. Her family members send her to us. We were able to get her into our property, get her everything much better suited based on her needs. And I heard the lender calling Vanya to try and convince Vanya as the realtor to go with them as a lender. And it's business. She has spent her time working with this client. She wants to hold on to the client. It's the nature of the business. But if the focus is on the individual, you will find so much more business as opposed to focusing on the business. We focus on the individual. We want to help people get what they want when they want it. So the fact that somebody says, I need to sell my house because I don't have any other option, if and when we find that other option and we can help them to stay in that house, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let me take a quick break. We come back, we're going to finalize the show. It's been a lot of information, and I hope that you're paying attention. But more importantly, we want to hear from you. Send me a text, 954-866-2171. Again, that's 954-866-2171.